Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready? Huh? Come on in. Do me a favor. Please like, subscribe, follow. Book Mr. Snaggerpuss on a comedy show. Like, subscribe, follow, like, push that like button. Show me some love. There we go. Mr. Snaggerpuss Comedy. You can find me on all social media platforms. Like, come on in and show me some love. Push that button. Push that button. Tonight, I'm trying to strike. Tonight, I'm trying to strike. I need 500 likes. My goal is to get 500 likes out of this video. I need 500 likes out of this video. My last video, I got 700 likes. And I had 29,000 people follow me. Come on in. Push that like button. Tonight, I got a conversation for you. It's called Realistically. Realistically. We realistically speaking about reality. Y'all know, weed heads and alcoholics do not get along. So y'all need to go on and roll up, swole up, the best shit that you got. If you ain't got none of the Cali, you ain't got none of that good Cali right now, then you need to go get you some of that good Mexico, or some of that good Colorado, or some of that good there you go. What's up, Jack? Jack is back. What's up, Jack? Incognita. There go my baby girl. Let you know, man, the show's about to start. Please do not come in as a troll. You will get bust across the back of the head and swept out the door. My moderator is standing in position. So how y'all doing tonight? Push the like button. Show me some love. Tonight, I think I boggled down to come up with some good information to talk about. But we got some good discussions to talk about tonight. Yeah, I got something I want to talk about tonight. Realistically speaking, I want to ask y'all something. Do you think that your vote is worth something? Do you think that you should get paid for your vote? Because a lot of white people get paid for their vote. A lot of, Jewish people get paid for their vote. A lot of Mexican people get paid for their vote. But black people is the only one that give away their vote for free. Do you feel like your vote is worth something? And if you feel like it's worth something, what do you feel like your vote is worth? Bribing is prevalent, bro. Okay, you crazy. Paid to vote? Hell yeah. You didn't know? Oh man, you need to get into the information realm of knowledge, because they pay people to vote. The Democrats is paying for votes right now, but they not paying black people. No, they not paying black people. Can anybody agree with me right now? Seattle, you said settle down, bro. Settle down for what? Do you want to get paid to vote? If you vote for Democrat, you can get paid to vote. What's up, Bishop? How you doing? Blaze in the house. You ready to blaze, man? If you ain't ready to blaze, why is your name Blaze? Why is your name Blaze if you ain't ready to blaze? Because we finna eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick one. Blaze. As soon as I get this cup of coffee, right after a few seconds, I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How y'all doing tonight? If y'all blessed and highly favored, do me a favor, push that like button. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. You only die once. You live every day. So every day you got to try to make the best of the best of the best of your life. And as long as you treat yourself like that, I promise you, You gonna be all right. This guy is nuts. Perfect example of how clueless most Americans are. No hate though. Much love. You can't have no love in your heart, bro, if you think I'm crazy. The sad part is you crazy. You participate in a system that only a fool would participate in. And you get mad at me because I don't participate. I don't play the games you play. I don't bow down to the motherfuckers you bow down to. I'm not afraid of the people that you afraid of. No, you crazy, dog. See, I served 17 years of my life behind bars. Guess what? That means you had 17-year head start on me, dog. To have way more, to be doing way more, and to be doing and like to be more productive with yourself in your life and the people that's around you in your life. You see, man, the sad part about it is it's people like you that's been here ever since the test of time and ain't never did shit for nobody, not even yourself. And you trying to talk about people like me that help other people that can't help themselves. See, my life ain't built like yours, dog. I don't follow the rules that you follow. I don't listen to the people that you listen to. I've never played the game that you play. See, my life is totally different. But yours, you see, you can't respect the fact that, you know, you can't respect the fact that, you know, my life is completely different from yours. I understand that. I get so frustrated when I run across people who think life is so great that what other people go through because they ain't never went through it, that it can't happen to them. And I just want to let you know something, dog. Life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All you got to do is close your eyes and reach in there and grab one and bite into it, brother. And life will treat you a lot better than the average motherfucker that ever thought it was. See, your perception of life, my perception of life is two different mental perceptions. You know, you can only perceive what you receive, and if you ain't never received anything, you ain't never went through nothing, then how can you perceive anything? That's kind of hard for you to understand, huh? See, if you walked a week in my shoes, you might not have shoes. Like, if I know you would not be living or surviving if you was right behind me following the path of my life. Like, everybody behind me ended up getting killed. Everybody that was in front of me ended up getting chopped down. So it's like, my experience in life and what I talk about, I pray for you, bro, that you don't never have to experience these type of things. But it's a lot darker and a lot sinister than what you can possibly imagine. Joshua Graham, how you doing, brother, man? Joshua. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you can connect with people on the internet in a whole nother special way, man. And little young brother Joshua, man, he's just a little angel from God, man. And you gotta protect the ones who don't know better, man. And you know, so when I tell people that, man, it's people like Joshua Brown, man, that spread love genuinely, unconsciously, without thinking twice about it. When, you know, some people have no envy in their heart. So when they come with pure innocence when they try to, you know, meet you. And Joshua, one of them type of people, man. He's one of them innocent, pure-hearted, you know, kids that God blessed to be on this earth. And a lot of people, man, you know, will try to take advantage of people like that. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person that was put here to protect people like that. And to, you know, give them and show them a better way. And we can all come together and enjoy life together better. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't understand where I come from. Y'all think I'm just on here just wasting my time and yours too, huh? Well, I just want to let y'all know, production, progress, prosperity, what God got for me, can't no man stop. I done already started to move forward on my project for my homeless shelter. Like I keep telling y'all, I'm finna open up a homeless shelter. I'm finna build a homeless shelter from the ground up and open it up. I ain't talking about buying a used building and fixing it up. Nah, nigga, I'm talking about buying a piece of property, putting a concrete foundation, and build a motherfucking luxury ass homeless shelter. That's where my mind at. I'm trying to build a homeless shelter for profit. And if anybody want to make a profit, get in my get in my DM. Thank you. Get in my DM. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about how I can turn your dollar into $1.50. That's what I'm doing. I'm turning people dollars into $1.50s. Now, if you tell me you can go put $1 in the bank and come back in 1 year and you got $1.50 in there, then go put your money in the white folk bank. But if you put your money in my hand, in 1 year, I'm going to be able to pay you 50 cents on each dollar that you donate me. And that's a good profit. I think that'll be a substantial profit. You getting a 50% return on your money in less than 100 and 300, less than 1 year. Yeah, I think that'll be like the best way to do it. And that's where I'm going to kick my program off. Like, once I get it going, I'm going to extend the program. And it might take about 18 months for people to start to get a return. But still, there's nowhere in the world, in America, you can put your money into an investment and make a 50-cent return on each dollar in less than 18 months. Nowhere. You can't put your money in the bank for 20 years and get a 50% return on your money. Like, so when I talk about this type of stuff, I like to talk about numbers. I like to talk about finances. But that's what everybody like to talk about. Money. They like to talk about money. You say, where I live in California. Is whites allowed? Whites would be allowed to be investors. Yeah, white people would be allowed to be investors. Yeah, I'm just like the bank. I'm going to take white people money and use it too. Don't matter. But they won't be able to be a residual resident. Like, I'm really trying to make people, change people ways of thinking, ways of life, man. You know what I mean? And I just wonder if I can eliminate majority of the cost of someone's cost of living, how much would that be worth to them? You know what I mean? Can I stay in the shelter? Yes, you'll be able to stay in the shelter. It costs $20 a night. And we're going to have a private bus that pick people up from our private bus stop. We're going to have a private bus stop. And everybody got to pay their fee before they get on the bus, $20. And $20 will get you a cubicle, you get a shower, you get a dinner, and you get a breakfast when you leave. And you get dropped back off at the mall every day. Yeah. $20, I'm broke as... Well, I'm sorry. This is a homeless shelter, a luxury homeless shelter for profit. This homeless shelter going to be better than the Hilton Hotel. So if you can't come up with $20, I'm sorry, brother. You know, there's other places you can go for free. They got a lot of free shelters. But this one's going to be a homeless shelter for profit. I'm going to have 300 beds at $20 a head. And you do the math. You do the math. I'm going to have 300 beds at $20 a head each night. That's how much money I'm going to make. I'm building a 300-bed shelter out of storage containers. This is going to be a whole living community. A living community. Nobody be able to stay permanently, but temporarily. They can rent out the rooms for $20 a night, get a good shower, a good night's rest, with a dinner, a customized dinner. They get a 3-course dinner. They get to pick their sides, 2 sides and a meat. And they get to pick their dinner, and they get a breakfast and a snack lunch when they leave. Like, you get a breakfast early in the morning, and then you get a snack lunch to go out the door with. All for $20. Just the meal itself is worth $20. But that's going to be my program. And I'm going to have a human restoration center. It's going to be like a job resource center, a school. People can get their GED, study for, to get their education. We have a couple of dope classes in there. We're gonna have a culinary class where people can learn how to cook and culinary. We're gonna have a landscaping class where people learn how to do landscaping, and we're gonna have a plumbing class where people learn how to be plumbers. It's a human restoration center. We teaching people how to overcome homelessness. The homeless don't have money. Shit, the homeless got more money than, man, let me tell you something, dog. Every homeless shelter in California make a profit off the homeless. They just lie to them and tell them it's a non-profit. We do it for free, but they really getting paid. But the fucked up part about it, the people that's really getting paid, they not putting that money back into the homeless shelter. They putting that money in their pocket. And they buying the homeless shelter, scraps of bullshit. Like, they got niggas sleeping on military, what they call military coffin cots. The cots that the military put the coffins on, they got people sleeping on them motherfuckers, talking about it's a bed. That ain't no goddamn bed. That's a military coffin cot. So you won't put the coffin on the goddamn ground. They got people sleeping on them motherfuckers, talking about, here go you somewhere to sleep. Yeah, bitch, you ain't thinking about my best interest, my best rest. How can I reset my mind, reset my body so I can wake up and have better thoughts to try to overcome my homeless situation? Bitch, you not trying to help me. You trying to hurt me. Like, that's what all these homeless shelters do. They just take away from motherfuckers and make them come back and join their programs. They ain't never got no real solutions for their problem. I got solutions. I know how to end homelessness. I know how to rebuild a human life and give them a second chance at life for themselves. And ain't nobody else gonna have to help them. Them people gonna be able to leave my center and be able to go start their own business with confidence that they can take care of themselves. Like, you don't have to work for nobody to be able to have to take care of yourself. You know that, right? You can work for yourself. You can actually work more for yourself, make more for yourself than you would for working for somebody else. See, school teach people how to be workers. Go find a job and be a worker. See, they don't teach y'all how to go start your own business. See, they want y'all to be workers so you can make their grandparents and their parents and their friends rich. See, so many people are so afraid to step out on faith for themselves. Okay, people are homeless. Where are they going to get the money to pay? Bro, California, homeless people get $400 in food stamps every month and $400 in cash aid. $400, $20 a night. All right, they can pay for $20 a night. 10 nights is $200. 20 nights is $4. They'll be able to pay for 20 nights out of the month to come to my luxury homeless shelter. Because you ain't finna get, listen, you get a bed, a comfortable a Simmons Beauty Rest, a Simmons Beauty Rest memory foam mattress. You get a small little, full-size bed to sleep on with soft Giza cotton, Africa Giza cotton sheets. See, I'm gonna have a luxury homeless shelter. My beds is gonna be Beauty Rest. My goddamn showers is gonna be infinity. They gonna have like jets coming all out the wall, shooting their ass. We ain't gotta worry about cleaning these showers. They gonna have self-cleaning showers. I'm gonna build these showers out of goddamn marble. And I'm gonna build these showers. Like, I know how to create, like, build shit. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, and they gonna be like what they call energy efficient. Like, they gonna save a lot of water. They gonna save a lot of energy. Yeah, like, I'm gonna build. See, y'all don't understand me. See, everything that most people want in life, I can get that with my eyes closed. See, I want things that people can't even think about. The things that I want to buy, the things that I want to have, opening up, building a homeless shelter, my own community, my own positive resort. Like it's gonna be bigger than a homeless shelter. You know that, right? I'm gonna have a soup kitchen, and I'm gonna have a 5-star luxury black cuisine restaurant. Yeah, and I'm gonna have, inside of my human restoration center, I'm gonna have like a conference room. So I want like, and I'm gonna be able to use that for a church, events, all kind of stuff. It's gonna be like a event hall. What's cooking, barbershop? God bless, man. What's up? Diaz in the house. How y'all doing? We talking. We realistically speaking right now. A lot of people don't know how to realistically speak. I'm talking about reality, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't even got started yet. Y'all ready? Y'all rolled up? I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all to roll up. That's my dance, y'all. Y'all don't know nothing about that right there. How y'all doing? Come on in. Show me some love. Push that like button. I need something tonight. Shit. Man, I did all that soul searching. I thought I had a lighter on me. I ain't got no lighter. Oh my God. Now I gotta get up and find a lighter. Y'all ready? How y'all doing? Joanna, man, in the house. Oh my God, I can't find no lighter. Where my goddamn lighter go? I swear, man.
Officials in Gaza say more than 100 people were killed Saturday in an Israeli attack on a school and mosque, where thousands of displaced Palestinians had sought shelter. The attack on the El Tabin school in Gaza City was one of the deadliest individual attacks since Israel's war on Gaza began over 10 months ago. Rescue workers said they did not find a single full body among the dead, just body parts often destroyed beyond recognition. Survivors said Israel attacked the school during morning prayers.
It's a mosque inside a school. People were praying the dawn prayer. They struck 3 missiles and one didn't explode. It's on the rooftop. Remains of people, children, women, the elderly were here. What did they do? Look, these are remains everywhere. They're from the displaced people who fled here. Without a warning or anything, what can I say? I'm speechless. More people were killed. There are still bodies under the rubble even now. Children are missing and some are injured. What can I say?
Israel claimed Hamas was using the school as a command center. CNN's confirmed a U.S.-made GBU-39 small-diameter bomb was used in the Israeli strike on the school. The attack came just 2 days after the Biden administration notified Congress it's preparing to provide Israel with an additional $3.5 billion to spend on U.S. weapons and military equipment. Congress had approved the money as part of a $14 billion package for Israel in April. Zateo reports part of the new U.S. package includes a direct sale of 6,500 joint direct action munitions to Israel. In related news, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has ordered a guided missile submarine to head to the Middle East and for a strike group of fighter jets and Navy warships to sail more quickly to the region as Israel's bracing for possible retaliatory strikes from Iran and Hezbollah after Israel assassinated Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and a top Hezbollah commander in Beirut. On Friday, Israel continued its assassination campaign by killing a Hamas commander in the Lebanese city of Sidon. Meanwhile, the U.S., Qatar, and Egypt have called on Israel and Hamas to resume ceasefire talks on Thursday in Cairo. Hamas responded by saying it supports the ceasefire proposal put forward by President Biden rather than any new plan. Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris and her running mate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz spoke before a crowd of over 15,000 in Arizona Friday in their largest rally to date. During Harris's speech, a group of protesters began chanting, "Free, free Palestine." The vice president paused to respond.
And let me just say this on topic of what I think I'm hearing over there. Let me just speak to that for a moment, and then I'm going to get back to the business at hand.
Okay, speak on it. Free Palestine.
I have been clear. Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal
and get the hostage deal.
The pro-Palestinian protesters in Arizona marked a notable shift in tone from how she reacted to protesters in Michigan.
If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
Other campaign news, Donald Trump has falsely accused Kamala Harris of using artificial intelligence to fabricate photos showing large crowds at her rallies. Last week, Harris spoke in front of 15,000 supporters at an airport hangar in Detroit, but Trump falsely claimed the massive crowd didn't actually exist, despite extensive photographic and video evidence. Trump wrote, quote, "There was nobody at the plane," and that the massive crowd, quote, "didn't exist." This comes as numerous reports emerge that Trump has been shocked by the early strength of Harris's campaign, as new polls shows her leading in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. The New York Times,
man, that's AI, man. That ain't no real rally. Look at all those. They put that bitch on a green screen. Put all them people behind her. Man, that's AI like a motherfucker.
To evacuate as Ukraine Ukraine expands its attacks inside.
She out there faking fake rallies like she really got 15, 20,000 people. Ain't nobody going to see Kamala Harris like that. Ain't that some shit? This bitch out here faking rallies and shit using AI. Oh my God.
Eastern Ukraine Friday, killing at least 14 people, injuring 43 others. In other news from the region, Ukraine and Russia are blaming each other after a major fire broke out Sunday at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which has been occupied by Russian forces for 2 years. Russia accused Ukraine of shelling the plant, while Ukraine blamed Russia for starting the fire, which occurred in the plant's cooling towers. In Bangladesh, interim leader Mohammed Yunus has appealed for unity amidst ongoing turmoil and religious tensions as Bangladesh transitions to a new government after the student-led ouster of longtime Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Yunus, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, met with and embraced the weeping mother of Abu Saeed, the first student to have been killed in the unrest last month. On Saturday, Bangladesh's Chief Justice and Central Bank Governor resigned as protesters encircled the Supreme Court. Students are now focused on unseating officials they say abetted Sheikh Hasina's repressive rule. She's fled to India. The Biden administration's decided to resume.
I like the live. Thank you very much.
Lifting a ban that had been in place since 2021. The U.S. had halted offensive arms sales 3 years ago amidst public outcry over Saudi Arabia's role in the devastating.
The Prince of Saudi Arabia.
U.S.-led peace talks between warring parties in Sudan are set to proceed in Geneva this week, even as Sudanese officials say they have not yet agreed to send a delegation. Sudan says the U.S. failed to ensure the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, first commit to respecting an existing agreement, the Jeddah Declaration. Sudan also objects to including the United Arab Emirates as an observer in the negotiations as they accuse the UAE of supporting the RSF.
Harris has always been polling around 30%. Media is hyping her up. Surely is trying to, but that's funny. She using AI to fucking to make it look like her rallies is bigger than what they are. I believe that shit.
The independent news website Rappler has won an 8-year-long legal battle and will continue its operations after
y'all drinking on some coffee?
Shutdown order issued under former President Rodrigo Duterte. Rappler and its Nobel Peace Prize winning co-founder Maria Ressa were consistently persecuted by Duterte for their critical coverage of his authoritarian rule and his deadly war on drugs. Maria Ressa spoke after the court ruling.
This court decision, the latest in a string of court victories for Rappler, is a much-needed reminder that the mission of journalism can thrive, even in the line of fire, to speak truth to power, to hold the line, to build a better world.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting the Biden administration's been pushing to arrange for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to leave office in exchange for amnesty for him and other top Venezuelan officials. The report comes 2 weeks after Venezuela held a contested election where both Maduro and the opposition have claimed victory. Peru has passed a bill that bars the prosecution of crimes against humanity committed before 2002. If signed into law by President Dina Boluarte, it could benefit convicted former President Alberto Fujimori and hundreds of others who carried out crimes.
Watch the media surrounding Waltz. All of them are calling him cuddly, high energy. I prefer calling him Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim. Hey, check this out.
In Brazil, authorities are investigating after a plane crash in Sao Paulo killed all 62 people on board. Among the dead were 8 doctors who were headed to an oncology conference. Another victim was a lawyer who represented clients in cases against airlines. And a federal appeals
that's why that plane went down. It was a lawyer on that plane. That's why I ain't getting on no plane.
Taken out smaller loans. Before it was put on hold, the SAVE program had already canceled $5.5 billion for over 400,000 borrowers. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
Now, This lady been toppled by
Most
the
of
by
you
the
who
U.S.
spend money at Google, Facebook, and TikTok
Boy, the U.S.
don't
always
see
trying to throw,
returns.
you
The
know,
secret
trying
elite is making a killing
to
in the
throw
space
people
you
off their
probably
throne,
never
and
considered.
boy,
It's time to ditch
now
what
this lady,
old
she need to go to
government
Russia.
said.
I think if she go to Russia and ask Putin for some help, that might fuck up the whole game right here. She need to go to Russia. Putin to help her.
And turn my
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post. You're watching Vantage with me, Palki Shah.
Paki Shamir. This is Palki Shamira. Shama.
It's a brand new week with a brand new storm. This one features Hindenburg and Adani. The target is India's stock market regulator. The politics is heating up. Tonight we will break it down for you. Meanwhile, China is seeing an exodus of foreign investors. The last 3 months was a record high exit. In Bangladesh, the Hindus are protesting. They say they feel unsafe. And a leaked speech of Sheikh Hasina blames the US for her ouster. We'll tell you all about it. Also in the neighborhood, S. Jaishankar, India's foreign minister, visited the Maldives. It's quite a turnaround from Bali, and it's India out president. In the US, Donald Trump is struggling and turning to his new BFF for help, Elon Musk. We'll interview Donald Trump tonight. In the Russia-Ukraine war, the fighting is intensifying in Russia with a fire at a nuclear power plant this weekend. The Olympics are over, and India's medals tally is abysmal. 6 medals for a country of 1.4 billion. Why don't we win? We will discuss that. In the UK, school children will be taught how to spot fake news. It's a course the whole world needs.
In the UK, they teaching their kids how to spot fake news.
And why is it trending now? Also, our joke of the day and the headlines.
I like watching the Indian news. This is Kamala Harris. Her heritage. This is her people news. See, they always talk like that. I did it. They got a D in every word that they say. All of them talk like that. The women and the men. Sardine sandwich. Snagglepuss speaking African. No, I'm speaking Indian. Like Kamala Harris' mama. For real.
Spain's ruling socialists regained control of Catalonia's regional
Catalonia region is in the socialist in the election and the season and more than a decade. Deadly floods and displaced thousands of people. And then they did it. Every time they say something, it sounds like they put a D in it. The Indonesian president. I'm just saying that's the way Indian people talk. Not to be disrespectful or nothing like that. But that's the way they sound like they talk. From Americans' standpoint, from when we hear it, that's what it sounds like. Right here, Trump, USA. All day. I did not know Eazy-E was alive. CB chief tied. Regulators deny any wrongdoing. Oppositions want CB chief out. Scandal at CB. CB chief targeted.
It's another bombshell from Hindenburg. The American
Hindenburg.
First they targeted the Adani group, now they're going after the Indian regulator. I'm talking about SEBI, the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Now, SEBI is basically India's market watchdog. It is supposed to protect Indian investors. But its chairperson is accused of doing the opposite, of hiding alleged vested interests. I know this is a complicated story, so let's break it down into different parts. Part 1. Who are the players? Hindenburg is a market research company in the US. Their playbook is quite
If you have a 700 plus credit score, you qualify for Chase's.
If y'all don't understand what Hindenburg is and what's going on,
$150,000 of capital for free.
this is a company that's built to protect all India's foreign investors.
Chase's new program allows you to access up to $150,000 of free capital for your businesses and investments without needing any tax returns, bank statements, or pay stubs, and it doesn't require.
Quite simple. Dig into big companies or business leaders, find out their corporate malpractices, short sell their shares, meaning make bets on their shares to fall. That's what Hindenburg does. It exposes malpractices and makes money out of it. That is their strategy in a nutshell, and that's what they're trying to do here as well. On the other side is Madhavi Buch. She is the current chairperson of SEBI, India's market regulator. Madhavi Buch holds an MBA degree from IIM Ahmedabad. She spent most of her career at ICICI Bank. In the last decade, she had a brief stint in Singapore as well. Then in 2017, she joined SEBI. She became a full-time member of the regulator. And in 2022, she was elevated to the post of chairperson. Now, this is very consequential. A, SEBI had never had a female boss. And B, Buch was not a career bureaucrat, so her appointment didn't make headlines. Which brings us to the second part of our story. What is Hindenburg's smoking gun against her? Well, at the center of it is a fund. It's called IPE Plus. That's what the fund is called. This fund is based in Mauritius, which is a tax haven. And Hindenburg claims that Madhavi Buch and her husband invested money in it. How much money? Around $870,000, which is less than 7 crore rupees. They invested this money in 2015. 2 years later, Buch was set to join SEBI. So the ownership structure was changed. Her husband wrote to the fund in Mauritius. He wanted sole control of the stake. So Madhavi Buch was out, no more joint business. The husband alone would handle and operate the account. And the SEBI chief has admitted this much. She said the fund was managed by her husband's friend. And that's why they invested. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is investing in an overseas fund problematic? It's shady, maybe, but is it illegal? Well, that's the third part of our story. The fund in Mauritius is allegedly linked to the Adanis. That's what Hindenburg says. It says that Adani used this fund to invest in Indian markets, to manipulate stock prices. Now let's try to join the dots. The SEBI chief had invested in an overseas fund. Hindenburg says Adani used the same fund, and the same SEBI chief is investigating the Adanis. If true, this is a classic conflict of interest. Look at Hindenburg's conclusion. I'm quoting from what they've said. We suspect SEBI's unwillingness to take meaningful action against suspect offshore shareholders in the Adani group may stem from chairperson Madhavi Buch's complicity in using the exact same funds used by Adani. Let me simplify that statement for you. This is what Hindenburg is saying. SEBI is going easy on Adani. Why? Because the SEBI chief used the same fund as the Adani group. That is the charge. Now, Madhavi Buch has denied all of this. She says that she exited the overseas fund in 2018. But a few questions still remain, like, did she disclose this investment to the government? Her statement is silent on that. But let's assume she did. Even then, why wasn't the public informed? You have a history with Company X. Company X is accused of being involved in a financial scam. You are investigating that alleged scam. So did the public deserve to know? These are questions the SEBI chief will have to answer, and quickly too. The government has not stepped in yet. The finance ministry says SEBI will handle the matter. SEBI falls under the finance ministry. But it's already been politicized. The opposition has two demands. They want Madhavi Buch to resign or be fired, and they want a joint parliamentary probe into the Adani case. But let's keep the politics aside for now. Let's just say this. We cannot let emotions cloud this case. Hindenburg clearly has its own motives here. I'm sure they bet a lot of money on Adani collapsing. They wanted this group to crash, but that has not happened. Adani Enterprises were 1.5% down today, but it's 28% up compared to last year. So overall, the market seems to have brushed it off. The Sensex closed just 56 points in the red today, and the Nifty just 20 20 points. So Hindenburg's bet has not paid off. Plus, they are on SEBI's radar right now. The regulator issued a show cause notice to Hindenburg last month. So clearly, they have their own axe to grind. At the same time, this report is a cause for worry. Many people are calling it a hit job on India. That is a stretch. This is a report against one company in India. So our response must be accordingly, it must be measured. The Indian stock market is the fourth largest in the world. Millions of Indians are invested in it. So transparency and trust are not negotiable, and we shouldn't need a short seller to tell us that. It shouldn't be the norm anyway.
After this video, your life is never going to be the same. So I need you to stop whatever you're doing. Thank you so much. I want to tell you how this feels. For the first time in my life, I bought something online, and I got way more than my money's worth. I just kind of lucked out. A friend of mine had an invitation. He couldn't come, so he gave it to me.
Over $2,300 per day on average. I cannot tell you how good it feels.
76,000 in 4 months. I was a little skeptical at first, but I'm so glad that I decided to take a chance. I legit made money. And honestly, you could have kept this technology to yourself, but you didn't. You decided to share it with us. And the gurus, they just give you a lot of BS. Like, I don't even think they know what they're talking about. I don't even think they make money doing their own thing. I realized right away that it's real deal. All you do is you get paid just to get paid $3,072. Maybe a friend sent you.
Most investors know this already. One company's issues won't disrupt the entire market. In China, however, it is a very different story. Overseas investors are leaving China in large numbers. Between April and June, overseas firms pulled out $15 billion, $15 billion taken out from the Chinese economy. This is a record exit. But it's hardly surprising. In the past 3 years, Chinese stocks have steadily declined as foreign investors have pulled out their money. And how much was the loss? At least $6 trillion. The steady outflow shows that China is unable to reverse the decline and restore confidence among foreign investors. They seem to have given up. And why is that? Why investors leaving China? Because they see risks, both short-term and long-term. In the short run, they are worried about the trade war between the EU and China. It is intensifying. Brussels has imposed high tariffs on Chinese EVs. It wants to restrict their imports. Made in China EVs now face up to 37% extra taxes in European nations, in EU nations, 37% extra tax. Beijing has filed a complaint against this at the WTO, the World Trade Organization. China has challenged the European tariffs. The complaint says that Europe's actions have no basis in law or fact. They're legally and factually incorrect. That's what China is saying. But here is the argument from Europe. It says, in China, EV makers get state subsidies. So it's not a level playing field because the government is helping car companies. It is helping EV makers. And this allows them to undercut their competitors. They dump cheap cars in European markets, and this hurts the local players. A few months ago, Brussels and Beijing tried to talk about this to settle their differences, but they could not. Last week, China moved the WTO and filed a formal complaint. Now, for the investors in China, all of this is a risk. And they see this as just the beginning. Today, it's a trade war with Europe. Tomorrow, it could be China versus America. And they see it coming because both presidential contenders in the US are talking about this. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, they say they want to contain China. Both Harris and Trump want to act on it. Harris wants to invest more in American manufacturing, and Trump proposes a much more hawkish approach.
So, with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country, no tax, no everything, those plants are going to be built in the United States, and our people are going to man those plants. And if they don't agree with us, we'll put a tariff of approximately 100 to 200% on each car, and they will be unsellable in the United States.
Long story short, the divide between China and the West is widening. Foreign investors don't like it. They don't want to get caught in it. They don't want to get caught in the trade war between China and the West, so they're pulling out of China. That is one reason. The second reason is the Chinese economy itself. It is showing clear signs of stress. This year, China set a growth target of 5%, a target that it's missing. The latest numbers show growth at 4.7%. Exports are underperforming too. In July, China's exports grew by 7%. The target was closer to 10%. So the fundamentals are weak. And the even bigger worry is the local governments and their debt. It is like a ticking time bomb. We've told you about this in the past. Look at what local governments in China owe. Anywhere between 7 to 11 trillion dollars. That is their debt. And out of this debt, 7 to 11 trillion, loans worth $800 billion are at the risk of default. A lot of these loans were taken to build infrastructure projects, stuff like your industrial districts and resorts and transit systems and housing projects. Many of these projects have failed. So the local governments are falling behind on their debt repayments. This has forced Chinese officials to resort to extreme measures, like chasing private sector companies. What for? To collect unpaid taxes. More than a dozen listed companies have got notices in China. Local governments are demanding millions of dollars in back taxes, retrospective taxes, meaning these bills are based on old transactions dating back several years. They come out of nowhere. It's like you sealed a deal, say 10 years back, and now the government is telling you that there's a tax on that deal that you must pay. Needless to say, it's unfair. But this is what's happening in China. One company has been asked to pay up to $12 million. Do you know when these taxes were due? 30 years back. But they must pay $12 million now. Another company has got a bill for $92 million for taxes that were due 20 years back. This is a clear case of tax terrorism. But these local governments are so desperate, they're running short of cash. So they're looking under every rock for money. This approach is not sustainable. The Chinese economy needs reforms. Even Chinese officials agree.
Pushing forward Chinese-style modernization faces many complex conflicts and problems, and we must overcome multiple difficulties and obstructions through further comprehensive deepening of reforms, promoting better alignment between production relations and productive forces, the superstructure and economic base, state governance, and social development. This will provide powerful momentum and institutional guarantees for China to achieve modern.
You've never even lived in. How does that work?
which has been to the west of the city.
Horribly. And then all of a sudden, for politics, he says, he comes out with what I said, which I think is terrible, and I think it's also hitting them very hard. These people are fake. Now they're also saying they did a good job at the border. We have the worst numbers in the history of the world, not of our country. There's never been a country in history that has had a catastrophe like this. We've had, I believe, and I think you believe this, you hear 12 million, I believe it's over 20 million people.
No, I'm not.
Many coming from jails, from prisons, from mental institutions, or a bigger version of that is insane asylums, and many are terrorists. And I'll tell you what, they're coming not just from South America, they're coming from Africa, they're coming from stupidly and horribly bombing Israel October 7th. They're coming from all over the world. And you know, you look at, it's so sad, October 7th, because it should have never happened. Yeah. It's so sad when you look at Ukraine. It should have never happened. We have a defective government. These are defective people. And they're not people that should be running it. But where you see it the best is the border. Because you have millions of people coming in a month. And then she gets up and she tries to pretend like she's going to do something. She had 3.5 years. And by the way, they have another 5 months that they can do something. But they won't do anything. It's all talk. She's incompetent and he's incompetent. And frankly, I think that she's more incompetent than he is. And that's saying something because it's not too good.
Yeah. No, I think it is essential to have a secure border. I mean, you're really not a country unless you have a secure border. And
secure elections.
You know, absolutely secure elections. And it's essential to have a real border now for can't function as a country. And our services, our central services are being overwhelmed in a lot of cities. But I, as we were talking about earlier, I think having a legal immigration process that is smooth and efficient and done well, and I'm speaking as someone who is a legal immigrant, and I think that one way to think of it is putting one on your team. You're relative American, and I think you want to just be okay. You want to let in people who are going to, be great contributors to our society, to our environment, and putting one on the team. And it's not to say that, like, in my opinion, actually, I'd say, like, probably most of the illegal immigrants actually are actually good, hardworking people. That's my opinion. But some are not. And you just have this sort of adverse selection process where, if somebody's, if somebody's like,
If you're a business owner, you need guidance. Taylor Brands takes care of everything, so you can focus on doing it. And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. 8:30 here on the West Coast, 11:30 there on the East Coast. I want to put this up here as we were continuing to cover the Donald Trump, Elon Musk one-on-one conversation. Stephen Chung tweeting out that photo of Trump participating in the X space with Musk, saying 2 hours. The conversation is still going strong between Trump and Musk. So, conversation lasting well over 2 hours, recounting the experience of the assassination attempt to Musk, talking about the issues like immigration and the economy, foreign policy, Russia and North Korea, and so much more. We do want to hear from our Fox News correspondent friend, Connor Hansen, with the wrap-up of the interview. Of course, we brought you the news that it was plagued by tech issues for about the first 35 minutes or so, and then it got underway. Let's listen to Connor Hansen for more. April
People trying to watch a conversation on X between former President Trump and its billionaire CEO were met with errors at its 8 p.m. start time. Elon Musk says there was a massive cyber attack and data issues. The conversation was eventually streamed to a smaller live audience.
As this massive attack illustrates, there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say.
The pair immediately diving into Trump's near assassination.
So that was the miracle. That was, for those people that don't believe in God, I'm a believer now. I'm more of a believer.
The planned unscripted conversation was heavily promoted by both Trump and Musk as Trump tries to pull back momentum from Democrats ahead of their convention. Trump posted a series of campaign videos on his X account leading up to the live stream.
We have a defective government. These are defective people, and they're not people that should be running it.
The live stream already drew scrutiny before it aired. The EU's digital commissioner sent Musk a letter warning against any, quote, amplification of harmful content. And the Harris-Walz campaign said Trump is taking his, quote, backward agenda of hate and division to a Twitter conversation with fellow extremist Elon Musk. While former President Trump has done most of his social media posting on his own platform, Truth Social, his campaign says we can expect to see more of him on other streams and podcasts. In New York, Hanson, Fox News.
Connor, thanks so much. Well, as you know, we're about to let you listen into some of these moments from the interview, and Trump went on at length recounting his experience of almost being shot to death on live television there at the campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Well, 1 month mark since that rally, since that shooting, will be tomorrow. And here on Live Now, we'll have extensive coverage talking about where these investigations into the shooting and the shooting's response stand. Remember that the House Bipartisan Task Force looking into the shooting, they have formed, they have met, they have made their first steps today in their probe with letters to both the DHS, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the Secret Service. So you can join us tomorrow for the 1 month anniversary of the Trump shooting. But here is Trump recounting his experience to Musk. Let's watch.
One of the miracles was that nobody ran. I mean, if a gun goes off, the crowd control people showed us this. When guns go off, and it does happen in stadiums at a soccer match or some kind of a match, everybody flees. They call it a stampede, like cattle. But everybody, and a lot of people get killed with those stampedes. We had more people than you'd have at, some of these matches or these games, and nobody left. You had a small group behind us in the grandstand, and that was full. And you look at it as it was taking place, and normally they'd be running. They didn't leave. They saw that I was hurt. They saw a lot of blood, and they saw that I went down. And it's almost like they wanted to be with me. Well, out front, you had thousands, tens of thousands of people. As far as the eye could see, you had people in Butler. As far as the eye could see, and a lot of press too. There were, many cameras on watching this. It's what makes it so different, because normally things happen that aren't good, but you never have a picture of it. Here we have all these cameras shooting it, so it's sort of amazing. But one of the interesting things was that you didn't have anybody flee. You didn't have anybody stampede.
Sure.
Nobody. And there were some people behind me. They stood up and they're looking like, I'll tell you, you want to have them in a foxhole with you. I want to meet some of those people.
All right, that was one of the really extensive, at length discussions and descriptions Trump has made of that experience on Saturday, July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. And so we want to show you this next clip, let you listen. Trump recounting to Musk why he wanted to show the crowd that he was okay. Let's listen.
What I found admirable there was that you can't fake bravery under such circumstances. The courage is instinctual, or it is not. It's not a rehearsed action. And so I just want to say that I think a lot of people admire your courage under fire there. And so
thank you very much. I appreciate it. I didn't think of it. I just wanted to get up, and I wanted to stand up. I wanted to let people know. I felt I was good when they were on top of me, covering me, actually, very much covering me, and very bravely. but I wanted to get up. I said, I want to get up. And they wanted, they have everything there. They wanted a stretcher. I didn't like the stretcher. And I knew I was hit in the ear, but I knew I wasn't hit anywhere else. They felt I was hit someplace else because it was such a lot of blood. And they were sure that I was hit someplace else. And they were saying, sir, you were hit more than the ear. I said, nope, I was hit in the ear. I want to get up. Let me get up. And so I got up, and the crowd didn't know what to think. I mean, this was so many people, and you could see they were confused. They didn't know what to think. And I wanted to let them know I was okay. It was very important for me to let them know that. And they went wild. You've seen the...
Okay, everybody.
They didn't go wild when I got up.
Everybody.
Was I alive? You really couldn't tell. When I stood up before the fist in the air, they didn't know if I was alive. Nobody did. And
I'll be back in a few minutes. Gonna order me a pizza from Papa John's.